legend.
Approaching the drop zone.
Locked and loaded. Good to go. Lighting him up. Anyone.
Legendary double kill.
Good evening and welcome to the Youth Empowerment Week. Thank you for coming to this forum. Today we are going to discuss about teens and video games addiction. For information, currently there is no definition about this video games addiction. So now let's reintroduce our powerful panelists. First, Nufashiha binti Arifin, one of the parents of the video game addicted, and the second is Nufazihana binti Fauzi, the Ministry of Youth and Sport, and the third one is Nurul Akumi binti Muhammad Sabri, our special guest, video games addicted, and last but not least, Fatin Nur Azimah binti Uthman, our counselor from University Sultan Zainal Abidin. Madam Fashiha, can you tell us what the factors of being video game addicted? Madam Fashiha, can you tell us what the factors of being video games addicted?
Thank you, moderator. I think the factor of teens and video game addicting is the influence of schoolmates. For your information, friends play an important role in teens' life. This is because they are easier to communicate, interact, and share their problems together. Therefore, they are also easier to influence with their friends' attitude, even that gives them a negative impact. The next point is the factor of this and video game addicting is environmental. In my opinion, surrounding around us also play an important role to addicted teen in video games. For example, there is a place that draws the attention of teens to enter and play some video games who call it as arcade video games. For those teens who doesn't have it at home, they will go there even they have spent a lot of money. At the same time, this will teach them to be a wasteful person. Therefore, there is a few places provide a cheap fees charge, so no wonder if they go there for a many times. Not least, the parents' attitudes also play a big role amongst another. This is because we are still together with them. A negative attitude from us will give big impact to them. For example, a parent who have a big status in their office, so they have a lot of work to do. So they will not have a great time with their family. Then they also doesn't have a time to ask their children's problem. What they know, they have to give a gadget like phone, laptop and internet access. So their children take it as a chance to play the video game all the time.
Okay, thank you, Madam Fashiha. So now we know that one of the factor is influenced by friends. Okay, next we move to our next our panelist is Fauzihana, the Ministry of Youth and Sport. So she will explain about the disadvantages of the video games addiction.
Thank you to moderator. As Minister of Youth and Sports, nowadays our teenagers are totally crazy about playing online games until they addicted to it. Being addicted to play online games may cause many terrible things. So today I want to share about the disadvantage of being addicted to play online games to our teenagers. The first one, teenagers' lessons will be neglected. Today, our teenagers are crazy about the awareness of the latest technology, especially video games. This incident can indirectly undermine the learning process of teenagers, and this causes them to forget their responsibility as a student. If this persists, their lessons will be stunted. For example, when facing the exam, they know that their examination is getting closer, but they are lazy to study. Instead, they spend their time playing online games all day until they do not sleep overnight. Second, playing online games also will affect your relationship. At this time, the relationship between you and your family or friends will get worse. You do not have the same topics or chat with each other. For example, when eating time with your family or friends, you are busy with your video games until you do not want to eat with them. So these things will affect your relationship. Last but not least, disadvantage of addicted playing online games are it may harm your health. According to investigation, there are more and more teenagers wearing glasses. It is consequence of playing online games for a long time. Besides, it is also harmful for your backbones. Seriously, it can cause terrible disease. So the conclusion is, do not approach the video games if you know it will harm us. That's all from me. Thank you.
Thank you, Miss Anna, for the explanation of the advantages of video games addicted. So now we can move to our next special guest, which is Nurul Afni. Can you tell us your experience among you being the video games addicted?
Okay, thank you to the moderator. Video game addiction, it was the problem that need to be solved by all the community. First of all, the first game that made me addicted was the Bible game. Bible game can be played offline, face-to-face or online through a group in the Telegram. What made me crazy and always want to play at anywhere at any time, it was because this game can stimulate my brain to the great fantasy until I feel I want to pass this game and I don't know where the ending is. I started playing this werewolf game since 2018 from month 8 until month 4 before my admission to the university. The factor that caused me being addicted to this werewolf game was the influence of an article that I have read from a channel that I follow in the Telegram. Other than that, that was because my free time of waiting for a university call. And at that time, my mother did not give me permission to work on my own. So from there, I have a lot of time with no activities I can do. And I would like to say here, when we try something new, we will be excited and we will feel want to try again and again. So from there, we will start to feel addicted. Addiction when we can control ourselves not to do it. So that was an addiction. However, the addiction to the extreme video game still has its impact on individuals and families. Over individuals, 1. You will become an antisocial person. Second, your emotions become wild and easy to feel angry. Third, waste of money. 4, bad of qualities with time. And 5, you will feel easy to feel pressure. Okay. While the impact on the family was 1. Introvert due to less social life. Second, emotionally distracted. And 3. Be unfriendly with family members. While the impact on the family was, first, introvert due to low social life. Second, emotionally distracted. 3. Be unfriendly with family members. And 4. Ease of frustration. So indirectly, a very lonely place in the end. We will be afraid, lonely, and had no place to go. So if we don't want something bad happen, we need to learn and try to avoid the overwhelming addiction that's happening from the beginning. Okay, that's all from me as an addictive for more video game.
Thank you to the Nurul Akmi for tell us about her experience. So now we move to our counselor from University Sultan Zainal Abidin, Fatin Asima. Can you tell us how to avoid become a video game addict?
Assalamualaikum and good evening. Thanks to moderator. For my opinion, video game addiction can be very detrimental to one's health and social life. The following is the step is detailing how to avoid becoming addicted and how to unaddict yourself if you are already be addicted to the video games. There are some steps that can be used to video gamers outside there. First, you as a gamer must accept the responsibilities. The problem lies within the individual, not within the gamers, not within the game. No attempt at beating addiction can succeed until the individual accepts it. No attempt at beating addiction can succeed until the individual accepts its existence is not the existence of the video games, nor the content of the games, but the person who choose to play them. The second step for individual is identify the impact. How many hours a day do you spend playing games? 3 hours per day, 4 hours, or maybe more than that? Only you who know that. When was the last time you read books? Yesterday, 3 days ago, or maybe last week? Identify the negative impact of the addiction will help you to focus on positive improvement and getting back the things that you really are missing. The last step for individual is set limit. If you have decided that you have only 1 hour a day to play games, stick to that. Choose your games correctly. I'm pretty sure if you are playing PUBG or Mobile Legends, you will spend more time to play that game. So if you are playing a game that requires many hours of gameplay, choose your game wisely and stick to the limit that you have made. For parents, first step to avoid your children from addict to video game is monitor your child video game time. You are the parent and thus you are control them. If your children do not listen to you, removal of the game console or setting of the administrative control on the computer may allow you to better solve the problem.
Thank you to the Miss Fatin Azima for the explanation. So now we know that video games addicted is very harmful for us, and the huge of the factor is the influence by friends. Okay. So thank you. Before we finish our forum, we have a few of questions that I get from WhatsApp. Okay. So this is the first question that I get from WhatsApp. If my brother plays a game 24 hours a day and get angry about it, is he addicted? Counselor, can you give us an explanation?
Yes, if playing is the main focus of his life, or if it affects his mood and emotion, he is addicted. Thank you.
The second question is, why do people get addicted to video games? Young Ministry, will you answer this question?
There is a multitude of reasons why people become addicted to video games. A few are depression, stress, enjoyment taken too far. They can be a way of escaping from real-world pressures.
Thank you for the answer. The next question is, what should I do if I already escaped the addiction but I am tempted to go back to it? So I will pass the question next video games addicted?
What helped you to escape it? Is there something you were doing before? Somewhere you were feeling that video game time that you are stopped doing? If the boredom was driving back, make a list of activities you could do instead and start doing one of them as soon as possible.
For over 10 years, I was addicted to playing video games. This addiction affected many areas of my life, including being a major influence in my decision to drop out of high school at the age of 15. Eventually, my parents got on my case to get a job, so I got one. I say got because I pretended to have a job for months. Every morning at 7 a.m., my dad would drop me off at the restaurant where I was a prep cook. After he drove off, I'd walk across the street and catch the bus back home, sneaking in through my window and going to sleep. I had been up all night playing video games. The truth is, I didn't want to do these things. I just did. The addiction controlled the behavior. 3 years ago, I decided to make a change. I had just moved back home to Calgary, Canada from living on Vancouver Island, and I couldn't get over this feeling of immense disappointment in myself. I moved to Vancouver Island inspired to take on new challenges, only to be left playing video games 16 hours a day for 5 months straight. I felt like a failure, and unfortunately, this was a feeling I knew too well. So I did what anybody would do. I Googled it, and the answers I found were incredibly frustrating. They were suggestions like study more, when the whole reason I was playing video games was to avoid studying, or to hang out with friends when all my friends played video games. Not knowing what else to do, I decided to quit cold turkey. And after a few months, I learned key lessons that led to major breakthroughs in my recovery. And knowing others were struggling with this addiction, I decided to share my story. I wrote a blog post online titled How to Quit Playing Video Games Forever. And the response? Overwhelming. But is video game addiction really that big of a problem? I mean, we're talking about video games here. Sure, I had my own personal experience with it, but did this problem scale? Or was I just one of the unlucky ones? Current research suggests that 97% of youth play video games, which equates to 64 million kids in the US alone between the ages of 2 and 17, with the fastest growing age group kids aged 2 to 5. In the UK, 10% more kids aged 2 to 5 know how to operate a smartphone application than know how to tie their own shoes. Unfortunately, the debate surrounding video games focuses on whether you should play or not, when that's like saying should you drink or not. If you can do it in moderation, that's fine. But what if you can't? What if right now you're stuck at home playing video games and you want to stop and don't know how? Imagine for a second how this makes you feel. Do you feel a sense of pain? What about feelings of guilt? Shame? Do you feel confident, anxious, depressed? Now, this wouldn't be a good TEDx talk unless I shared the lessons I learned and how you can use them to help yourself or someone you know overcome this addiction. It's not about the games, it's about why you play the games. If you can understand why you play games, you can move on from them. There are 4 main reasons why you play games. First, they are a temporary escape. After a tough breakup at the age of 18, playing games online gave me the perfect way of not having to deal with this situation. I could simply get absorbed in games and play for hours and hours. Second, games are social. Staying home on a Friday night doesn't seem so bad when you're at home playing games with your friends online. Not only that, but games offer a clean slate on the social ladder. Being bullied when I was younger didn't exactly leave me feeling very confident in my social standing. I felt misunderstood, unaccepted, and unsure how to fix it, even though I wanted to. Playing games online gave me this opportunity. I could be who I wanted to be. Nobody knew my history, and I was judged based on my ability to play the game and not on my current social standing. Third, games are a challenge. They give you a sense of purpose, a mission, a goal to work towards. This is an achievement paradigm. Achievements multiply the opportunities to experience success. Finally, you see constant measurable growth. This is a feedback loop. You get to see progress. When you're at school, you struggle to improve your social standing. But online, you're able to see rewards for the efforts you put in. Consider how it feels when you're finally able to see progress in something. Consider how it feels when you're able to see that the goal you've set out for is achievable. Combine these 4 areas and you have a very addicting process. So where do we go from here? How do we fix this problem? Video game addiction is a habit developed over time by becoming your go-to activity whenever you're bored. So parents, it starts with you. I'm sorry to say, but the iPad is not the new babysitter. They need interaction, not entertainment. Next, gamers play for very specific reasons. Identify their motivations and help them find these in other activities. Help them with their social skills. The truth is, they struggle to make friends. Lastly, don't punish them for their desire to play these games. Come from a place of compassion and encouragement, not judgment. We're so caught up in asking whether this is a real addiction or not that we've lost sight of what truly matters. How do we help these people stop playing video games? But there is another way. The truth is, this is about the idea of feeling trapped in something you want to move on from. It's about the freedom to live your life the way that you want and on your own terms. And sometimes all you need is permission. Permission to move on from something you want to move on from. Permission to stop playing video games. So if you're out there, whether you're in the audience or you're watching at home, I want you to understand one thing. You have permission. Thank you.